Hello everyone and welcome back to the Rainy Grinch Gaming channel, where we are continuing the Minecraft saga. If you've seen the Corruption season and you've seen the Valeria season, then I promise you you're in for a treat with this one. In the Corruption realm we had some amazing players and some amazing builds, and in this new Shadowlands realm we have even more to offer because there are more players involved, more builds that are going up, and so much talent across all of the players that honestly I am quite out of my depth. Now obviously with the drop of the 1.18 update, the new Caves and Cliffs Part 2, we're very excited to get back into things and to get a whole new story going. So I honestly am looking forward to getting this series out so much. If you enjoy the series, please do show some support, leave a like, why not subscribe, you never know, you might just like what you end up watching in the future. But this is the story of the first 25 days of my start in the Shadowlands Redemption server. I hope you enjoy it. I'm certainly looking forward to it. Let's see if we can't go from 0 to hero in 25 days. So I spawned in and I took a minute just to get to grips with my environment and just see what was all around me. This was the spawning area for Shadowlands Redemption, the start of a brand new season. I was very excited, so of course the first thing that I did was went around and had a look in all of the chests just to be nosy, see what was going on. This one had some tools in it that I thought I might take one of these, but I decided against it because I wanted to play like a pro. Then I saw some bamboo and I thought, ooh, bamboo. So I chopped it down with a map because it's a super map. It's very, very strong. Cuts down bamboo. Later on you're going to see it chopping down some trees. Rick said hi via Princess, I said hi back via Princess. She was like an owl, but not this owl. And then Ori shouted at me, Rainy, so I shouted back, Ori! And then I went and I chopped down a birch tree. And this was my first bit of wood for the season. So now I've got 13 bamboo, a map, and I've chopped down a birch tree, and I've got some birch logs to play with. Later on we're going to turn that into our first wooden pickaxe, but for now we've got to do a little bit more exploring. So I went with a swim with my bamboo. I don't know if it helps. I've got my map out, jumped out of the water, decided I was going to make it up this little hill here. Wasn't quite sure what I was looking for, but then I noticed this cave and I thought, ooh, a cave. So I went towards it and I ran in, and it was quite dark in there, so I kind of got this far and then went, no, thank you, I'm not prepared for that. So I didn't go in. Instead, I made a mad dash up this hill, and once I made it to the top, I had a great view of everything all around me, and just as I came down, Bubble the shark fell from a high place, and that was the first death. Planks, bench, wooden pickaxe. Grabbed my crafting bench and went exploring once again. Then I was painfully reminded how long it takes to mine stone with a wooden pickaxe. After a little more exploring across the treetops, I found a place that I thought this could be a good starter base. So I planted the sugarcane here, made my first pickaxe, put down some bamboo and a chest, and as I was sorting out my inventory, Bubble the shark was slain by a zombie villager. Death number 2. I asked this sheep if it wanted to be my friend, it said no, so I annihilated it and took its skin. Then I found this cave and I thought, yes, let's go do some exploring, but I didn't realise I was in for an epic battle. Watch this epic battle. I ran away because I was scared, got some more stone to craft myself something that I could actually defend myself with, cooked up some food because I was running really low. And there's my stone axe, there's my cooked food. Now I can eat this and hopefully start to regenerate some health. Not to worry, I can always just get myself some fish. They're easy enough to kill, right? A quick respawn later, I was back in the spawn chunks and I thought, right, come on, let's do this properly now. So I went ahead and I grabbed some more sugar cane because I was going to need that a little bit later. I chopped down another tree because I needed the wood, and I made myself a bench and a boat and made myself a pickaxe, and I went exploring and I'm looking for an ocean monument. Now I didn't find any in this particular ocean, so I broke my boat and I carried on land, and I came across this ruined portal and I thought to myself, this might have some good loot in it. So I had a rummage round and looked for the chest, and it was nowhere to be seen. Someone had gotten here first, but that's fine, that's fine. I came across a little lake, and at the edge of the lake I saw some coal, and this was something that I really needed because I couldn't power any of my furnaces without it. So I grabbed it, and there's another death to add to the list. If anyone's keeping count, feel free to let me know the total in the comments, by the way, by the end of this episode. Food was becoming a bit of an issue, but it was okay because I found this chicken, so I made friends with it and then I stole its meat. I made a campfire to cook my dearly departed new friend, and I took a moment just to appreciate the fact that I was still alive. Someone else wasn't alive though, there's another death, and there's some sugarcane to go with it. I went exploring to see if I could find some sheep, but I could only find one sheep in the entire area, and one wall is not enough to make a bed, so I ended up just heading back. And once again, I just took a moment to reflect on the fact that I was still alive. This was good going for me. I found a cave that had a bit of coal in it, and while I was mining it, I thought I'd take a little look at myself, and then my pickaxe broke. But it was alright because I had a stone one with me as well, so I carried on getting that juicy coal. What I really wanted though, more than anything else, was iron, and I just couldn't seem to come across any anywhere. This 1.18 update, where you've got new world height limits and new world depth limits, really makes a change to the way that world generation works, and I'm really not sure how I'm supposed to find coal, or how I'm supposed to find iron or lapis, as my understanding is at the moment they're on different levels and you kind of have to just go deeper and deeper and deeper. But look at this cave generation, like the way that it works and the way that it all fits together, and you get these little crevices. It's just weird, it's just strange, but I like it. Then I came across another cave which just looked like a regular cave, and I thought, yes, if I'm going to find iron, this is the place. And I found some copper and I found some coal, but I could not see any iron anywhere, and I went my way down, but I just kept exploring, and eventually I did come across a single bit of iron, and I was overjoyed. And it was at this point that I decided that my aim for this episode was going to be to make it to Fortune 3, because then I can multiply that iron and this copper. As I went deeper into the cave, I came across 2 skeletons, and I tried to prepare myself for battle by switching to my good stone axe, and I realised that I just wasn't in a position to take these guys on, so I ran away. They were really interested in me though, so they carried on following me, so I ended up having an epic battle with this guy, and I killed him. I took him out, and I managed to get hold of his bow. His friend got involved not too long afterwards, so I killed him as well, and I was very proud of myself for that victory. So I returned home, put my 4 iron into a furnace and smelted it up, not quite sure what it was that I wanted to build just yet with my 4 iron. Iron is an issue at the moment. I decided to spend it on a shield and an iron pickaxe. I made a fishing rod because food was once again a problem, and then I tried to start a strip mine, and I managed to find some iron along the way, but as I was working my way down I realised that I had a big obstacle in my way in the form of an underground lake, which looked absolutely amazing, but without water breathing potions there was no way I was going to be able to explore this safely, so I turned around and got out of there as quick as I could before I ran out of air. Based on the fact that I couldn't actually form a strip mine here, I decided it was time to move on. I'd managed to gather enough supplies that I could make it a fairly long distance in terms of food, and I had blocks to build with and that kind of thing. So I packed everything up and I headed for the new starter base area. I sheared some sheep that I couldn't find before in order to make a bed, so I was happy about that, and then I went on a mission to try and find an ocean, because I'm looking for an ocean monument that I want to clear out and turn into my base. But first I need to actually find one, and I did find an ocean, and now the hunt began for the ocean monument. I spent a very long time out at sea. I came across a number of different things that I thought might be interesting, but I ignored because I was on a mission, and then the lag began and my boat just kept disappearing out from underneath me. I really wasn't sure what was going on. I thought I was going to die at one point and that I was just going to run out of air underwater. It kept kicking me out of the boat, then put me back in the boat. Everybody else was complaining of lag too, so we decided as a group that maybe it was time to reset the server. With the lag problem solved, it was time to resume our journey, and I came across these amazing cliffs, and I thought that'd be a good place to build a base, but then I decided no, stick with your mission. I came across this village, but my inventory was pretty full, so I decided just to jump in the boat, have a quick snack, and just carry on searching for an ocean monument to call home. Now there's a lot of gameplay footage of me searching across the ocean, and I've narrowed it down to this little section here, because otherwise we'd be here for hours with me just being in a boat. But I was searching, as I say, for the ocean monument. It was elusive. I ended up going over land, over sea. I didn't really travel by air because I didn't have an elytra, but I travelled a very long way, thousands and thousands of blocks. I came across villages that I just ignored and just kept on going, munching my food as and when I needed to. And eventually I came across an ocean that actually had an ocean monument in it, and now all I needed to do was to find a bit of land close by that I could build my starter base on, which I still had no idea what that was going to look like, but I knew that I wanted to be near an ocean monument. I had a couple of furnaces going, and I put a bed down that I set my spawn at. I managed to gather some more materials because I wanted to build out over the water. I tamed this dog with the first bone, which I thought was pretty cool, and then I started placing slabs down so that I could start expanding this base out and actually create a safe space for me to work in. I unloaded all of my materials into a fresh chest, cleared some area underneath for a a farm so that I could start actually planting some crops. Realised that I had broken my bed and not set my spawn again, so I did that quickly, and then I started putting the seeds in place to get a wheat farm going, because I was going to need leather from some cows, and obviously I needed sugar cane for some paper in order to make books. And I viewed my new domain, my new empire, quite proudly from the edge of my latest construction, and I thought to myself, yes, this is good. The ocean monument's over there in the background. I was happy. And that is the first 25 days in Minecraft Survival Multiplayer. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you're interested to see what happens next, go ahead and hit subscribe, or just have a look at the playlist, because this will be as part of a playlist. We've made some good progress, but there's a lot more that needs to happen in this series, and trust me, it does. I've already recorded all of the footage, so I'm going to leave this episode here, and I will catch you in the next one. So you've made it to the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching all this way. Do me a favour, I'm really trying to grow this channel, so if you can think of someone that you think might enjoy this video, please share the link with them, get them watching it as well. The more views we get, the more likes, the more subscribers, the more I'll put the effort into this series and really make it something special. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!